The subtle art of not going too fast. That is what we're talking about today. Welcome to the Happy Families podcast, real parenting solutions every single day on Australia's most downloaded parenting podcast. We're Justin and Kylie Coulson, and every Friday it's I'll Do Better Tomorrow. We analyse the week that was, we have a look at what's working and what isn't, and how we can be better parents. Kylie, couple of things that I'm going to share today before we step into you and your insights and the way that you want to be better tomorrow. First one that I want to share is just the delight, the joy that I get from traveling around the country and giving talks. Over the last few weeks, I have been literally nonstop. I've been in almost every single state of the country giving talks, and it has just been such a joy, such a delight. You and I went out on Friday night last week. We were in Melbourne for a foster care group called Key Assets. They were having their gala dinner. We got dressed up. You were wearing your ball frock. You looked fabulous. I was wearing my suit and tie, and being able to stand in front of a room of foster carers, people who have not only raised their own children, but they're stepping in and supporting. They're giving their hearts and their homes to kids who don't have a safe place to be.
Yeah, it's a gift of stability, connection,
oh my goodness,
and safety that they, in most cases, haven't experienced before.
And the extraordinary privilege that it is for me to stand up in front of that audience and give an after-dinner keynote for 20 or 30 minutes. It's one of those things where I stand up and think, I don't have anything to tell you. Like, you people are incredible. You're amazing for what you do. Like, truly, genuinely, in my heart of hearts, I'm astonished at what they do. And yet, when I give my talk and they come up and say, that was incredible, we needed that, the chair of the board literally leaned over and said, that was such a gift. You're a gifted speaker. Thank you for giving us what you gave us. And you just sit there and go, oh my goodness, this is... I'm the one that should be thanking them. Like, I walk out of a night like that and think, I want to be better because of the great job that you guys do.
They interviewed a couple of the parents in the room. There was one woman who has been doing foster care now for 22 years with 103 children who've come through her doors. What
an impact.
Just crazy. She was diagnosed with cancer 3 years ago, and thankfully at this point she's in remission and she's doing fine. But just understanding their stories, I looked in that room and so many of those families would be doing life tough. Like, it's not like it's easy street for them, and yet they're opening their doors and their hearts to bless a less fortunate child. Like, it blows my mind.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Hey, I just want to also mention so much travel and so many talks. This week I was at Padua and Mount Alvernia colleges in the north of Brisbane on Monday night, and Tuesday night I was at Nambour Christian College, and on Wednesday I hung out at King's Christian. Last couple of days I've been working on my book. I had a little bit of a space in my diary, but next week I take off on Sunday, and next week I'm in Western Australia all week. I'm going to be at Christchurch Grammar on Monday, at Cottesloe Primary on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I'm at PLC in Perth, and on Thursday, I'm doing a whole lot of stuff with Catholic School Parents WA. What a privilege again to be able to do it. I just love what I get to do. And today, instead of talking about all the usual stuff, just a really quick I'll Do Better Tomorrow from me. It's a really simple one. On Sunday night, we had our family together. We had a lovely barbecue. You made an incredible salad. I cooked some meat on the grill. And then after dinner, we just jumped in the car and drove down to the beach and walked along the Esplanade. And I don't know how long we were there, maybe 40 minutes, maybe an hour. And I completely fell in love with my family and being outdoors, and just that it's something that we don't do that often. Slowing down, dropping the agenda, the dishes can wait. Let's just go for a walk. And it felt so good. That's literally my I'll Do Better Tomorrow. Like I said, the subtle art of taking everything off the schedule and just spending time with the kids. Meaningful conversations, connections, insights, questions. What a delight.
It's pretty magical when you just get the temperature right and the atmosphere and the kids are all happy and you get to enjoy that time together.
Take home message. Sometimes it's really nice to let go of the schedule, let go of the agenda, and just be outside in one another's company. That's kind of all you really need and want. Kylie, what about you? What's your Old to Better tomorrow for today's podcast episode?
Mine's probably an extension of your Sunday night walk along the beach. I was having a chat with our eldest daughter, and we were just discussing some of the challenges in both of our lives right now, and she just shared the most beautiful thought with me. And she said, I can have a falling out with my sisters, I can have a falling out with my friends, but the idea that I would lose the relationship that I have with you as my mum. And she got really emotional, and she just said, I couldn't live without you.
Wow.
And
That's better than a birthday and a Mother's Day and a Christmas present all at once, isn't it?
What was so beautiful about that is our shared journey together has not been perfect. We've had some really, really challenging times and moments where I actually wondered whether I would ever get her back. And to be able to sit together on the grass overlooking the water, and for her to share how deeply she feels grateful for the relationship that we share was just so profoundly touching and moving. And I feel so privileged. I feel so privileged to have her in my life, but not only her 5 sisters, and for the amazing human beings that each of these girls are growing into, and the lessons that they teach me, and the way in which they elevate me and my thinking and my desire to be a better person for them.
It reminds me of the thing that I've said all the way along, and that is our children are biologically wired to connect with us. They want to have happy, healthy, strong relationships with us. We've just got to make sure we don't get in the way of that. We've got to support them to be who they are so that they can savor being with us.
Yeah, I think it goes a little bit deeper though. There is going to come a time, I'm anticipating it, where she's going to remember a conversation that we had or an interaction that we had that really hurt. And there's going to come a time when she's going to want to reconcile the emotions around that, or, you know, kind of her feelings with it all. And it's so easy in those moments as a parent to become really defensive and to justify our actions, or to tell her that she got it wrong, that it wasn't like that, or she has no idea what it's like to be a mum, or whatever it is. And yet what I've learned throughout my life experience is that in those moments are the moments where not only do I need to offer myself grace and recognize that I did the best I could with what I had, but it still wasn't enough, but acknowledge that her experience is hers. And the only thing I have to offer her is not only an acknowledgement that I got it wrong, but a request for her forgiveness, that she can recognize and know that in spite of my shortcomings, that I love her dearly.
Yeah, more than any of those mistakes, yeah. I don't remember who said it, but there's a very famous quote that basically says, as a parent, it's guaranteed you're going to stuff your kids up.
Totally.
Like, you can't not. So what really matters is that you recognize that you will, and then you do the best that you can to make up for it and to develop the relationship in spite of it, and to teach your children that it is human to make those kinds of mistakes. Incidentally, speaking about that daughter and the cherishing, the relishing, the delight that we find in the relationship that we have together, I got a text message from her the other day which totally cracked me up. So my 50th birthday coming up later this year, we're going to take the entire family away for a couple of days, and we're going to do a 4-day bike ride, about 150, 160 Ks on a disused rail trail. Like, lots of people go and ride bikes along these rail trails, and there's accommodation, or you can go camping or whatever. And we're going to do one of these rail trails for about 150 Ks, the whole family. And I've been saying to all of them, even though it's not until the end of the year, you really need to get used to sitting on a bike, because if you haven't sat on a bike for a while, and then you sit on a bike for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, 4 hours in a day, the next day when you sit on that saddle, you're not going to be able to touch it. You're going to have to ride for 2 or 3 or 4 hours standing up because your bum's going to be so sore. She sent us a text on Monday. For those of you who have not sat on a bike, you might want to look at starting. Indy and I just did about 15 kilometres, and my butt is very, very sore. So 4 days on a bike. You want to make sure that those relationships are okay and that whatever forgiveness needed to be offered has been done, because otherwise there's going to be a whole lot of hate and a whole lot of misery and complaining. Is that a good birthday present? I think it's a great birthday present. I'm not sure if the family's going to have the fond memories that I'm hoping for. Have we made a mistake?
We'll find out.
Yes, we will. That's going to be a fun I'll Do Better tomorrow. I can't wait to report on that one. That'll be right at the end of the year. We'll fill you in. Anyway, thanks so much for listening. I hope that you've really enjoyed what we're doing on the Happy Families podcast and the way that it's designed to help your family to thrive. Have a great weekend, and hopefully these ideas will help you to do better tomorrow. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media. If you'd like more info and more resources for supporting your family and helping your family to be happier, check out my book, The Parenting Revolution, the most important parenting book that I can think of to recommend for you. You'll find that and a whole lot of other resources at happyfamilies.com.au.